Well, it's just, here. Welcome, everybody, and I just want to introduce you to Daniel Jáquez, who is a director in San Diego, here in the theater world, and welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. This is awesome.
No, thank you. Now, everything that I do here is all about food, so I like to prep a meal, and today's food that I am introducing is a shrimp fettucine with some tomatoes, a little bit of pesto sauce, and white wine, butter, lots of butter. It's all deliciousness.
Is it spinach fettuccine?
It is spinach fettuccine.
Okay.
All from Trader Joe's, by the way. Except for the cherry tomatoes. Those are actually from my parents' garden.
I thought it was from that little bush that's dying over there.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Actually, those tomatoes are actually...
somewhere in there.
They're actually little tomatoes. Oh, let me just bring it because I'm actually excited about my garden. I have these. These are my tomatoes that I'm actually growing to my garden right outside. You know? These beautiful little tomatoes. Those aren't cherry tomatoes. Those are actually more for salsa. Mm-hmm. I'm actually growing some chiles out there. I'm going to make some salsa.
Salsa casera. It's a new definition.
Oh, please. And here, salud.
Salud.
Thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank you for inviting.
There's bread here.
Salud.
Please. Salud.
Salud.
Cheers.
I can't wait.
Now, the theme that I have for today is actually from a song by Rudy Vallee, 1931, called Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries. You probably heard it in the musical Fosse, because Ben Vereen has sung it in the musical on Broadway. And it's well, I'll sing a little ditty of it. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't take it serious. Life's too mysterious. You work, you say, you worry so, but you can't take the dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating, it's the berries, something like that. Anyways, but, and it has a lot to say because it was written really right after the Great Depression.
In the 30s.
Yeah. And this song actually means a lot to me because everything people think or want is all about material. They think success is about money. They think success is about having everything. And I was kind of having a debate with somebody. Well, let me backtrack. To me, it's not about that. To me, it's about health. To me, it's about people, friends, good friends like you, good friends like Grecia, who is right behind the camera. You know, dear friends that I feel like, hey, I love these people. My family, my dogs. You know, that to me is much more important than owning a house or having millions and millions of dollars of wealth, or having some sort of electronic that just means so much for you. I don't know. Talk to me about what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. You know, I can immediately, sometimes me dicen Contreras, because I'll start arguing the opposite point of view. But I'm at a point in my life where I'm acknowledging privilege, you know, and being who you are. So it creates a lot of tension in my life. And enjoying this glass of champagne, yeah, it's great, it's beautiful, but hey, we can afford it.
Yeah,
you know. So and if I decide to save that money that I buy champagne and share with friends and give it to the next generation, is that selfish? Is that not enjoying the moment? You know, or give it to somebody more needy? It's. I mean, believe me, I love living the good life too. but it's great, especially if somebody else cooks and buys everything.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
I did that.
Yeah, he did that. But I think that song after the Depression tackles things that were prescient in that moment because there was no wealth, but there are ways of sharing, knowing that wealth is important because you can help other people. So now, after saying that, after fucking Reagan showed up,
Yeah. Oh God.
it wasn't no longer a social responsibility of people,
Yeah.
of a society to take care of their indigent. And then all of a sudden it had to do with individualism, individual capitalism. It's all about me, and not a civil society. And from there, it made sense, because, oh yeah, I have a lot to give, so I'm going to give a lot, and I expect to get paid for a lot. But that just went bonkers.
And you're right. It did start around the Reagan era, and especially when he appointed Dan Regan, who was the former CEO of Merrill Lynch, to be the Secretary of Treasury for his administration.
Oh my God.
So, really, he was the guy in charge. He was the one who did all this.
Yeah.
Who made the wealthier wealthy. I mean, that was all Wall Street. That's when Wall Street started booming.
Yeah.
And
that's when also all the education programs, the theater programs, the humanities, the liberal arts started to not count. All of a sudden you wanted to get somebody that get an education that will get you a job immediately. And the higher education institutions start producing machines instead of whole humans that have respect for society, for humanity. Where the philosophy, where is the humanities, the arts?
That's where the downfall of what happened to Detroit.
Oh,
the car industry.
Was it? Yeah.
It was around the 80s during the Reagan. That was the downfall. That's when it's like, oh, let's get all these machines. Let's fire all these people. And that's how all these people who were in the car industry, working, building these cars, lost all their jobs.
Yeah, but that's also because with his philosophy, greed became the thing. So the companies, in order to make more profit margins, moved their operations, not caring for the devastation they left behind.
No.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel that song is so relative still today. That's exactly where it is. And I didn't have a debate, but I was listening to a friend of mine who I was talking to him about this YouTube and this theme of today's theme about life is just a bowl of cherries. And he said, well, what if, it's a family member who bought this house and left it behind for their children and so forth. And I said, I think that's a little different. That's different.
Yeah.
Because that continues on.
It's not exaggeration.
Yeah.
And it's not screwing people over
No,
so you can get ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. That's where I feel that's not the selfish. I don't think that is selfish at all.
No.
But
let me ask you this. If you want to sell the house so you can have more fun because life is a bowl of cherries, then you don't leave it to your son or anything like that.
Or anybody else.
That's selfish.
That is selfish.
So, is the song about selfishness? Use up all your goods?
Yeah, well.
Is it?
That's what it's telling me. It's like, hey.
Yeah. I think if we nitpick it, I think we can find all sorts of reasons. I think at that particular time, I think people wanted to focus on hey, I don't have anything, and it's still good. As opposed to from the position of, I have all of this, but I'm going to give it away because it's not worth anything.
Right now, I work at a retail store. I won't tell you which retail I work at. Fuck it. I work at Lowe's, okay?
At least it's not Home Depot.
And exactly. They supported Trump, so screw Home Depot, but Lowe's has not. But however, it is still a corporation, a big corporation. I do feel lucky that I am working.
Mm-hmm.
However, the pay is terrible, as always. Growing up, our next door neighbors, the couple that lived there who had 3 children, the wife was a mother at home. And the husband, he worked at a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Bought his house, put his children to college, had money left over after they retired. Then he ended up selling the house to buy a house in Illinois to have a quieter life for him and his wife, you know. And
downsize it?
yeah,
Okay.
pretty much, you know. Well, they could get something bigger for themselves that is, you know, just to live comfortably for themselves and only themselves. You know, and their children were they were doing great. You know, because they had good education, they lived their life, they had their own life. Nowadays, you can't work in a place like that
Mm-hmm.
and be able to afford what you were able to afford. You know, like right now, I work with people who work 2 jobs. They have to work 60 hours a week. You know, just to barely survive. And, you know, some of them are full-time workers, so they get health benefits, but
Right.
it's not always the best. They don't give the best. And this is a corporation, and they just laid off 2 departments. The assembly, as well as they laid off the FSA.
What's
And
an FSA?
They're the ones that, they're the hazmat. They
Okay.
deal with the hazmat as well as cleaning the bathrooms and stuff, because it all deals with
Yep.
hazmat.
Mm-hmm.
Facilities,
Facility. Mm-hmm.
you know, and anyways, Lowe's Corporation is actually outsourcing these people, you know, other companies. So these people who had full-time jobs doing what they needed to do, they're out of a job. And it made me kind of angry. And, you know, I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful that I do have a job. They want to keep me there. Who knows by now?
Hope this airs after you're gone.
But I'm just being honest, and this is my thoughts, and this is what it's about. You know, I have to be honest. I have to be honest with my audience. I have to be honest with myself. I have to be truthful. I come from the theater, and that's, you know, and we learn just be honest. To speak the truth. Be vulnerable. Just
Mm-hmm.
speak the truth.
Present, yeah.
Like Hamlet said, speak the speech. You know.
Yeah. Just a fly drinking my champagne. I will not have that.
Pinche
You know, I think it's all the same symptom, to be honest. People get greedier. You know, they budget into their projections a 20-25% profit margin. And the only thing that's disposable is the labor force, you know. It's been proven that if you actually focus on the human capital of a corporation,
Mm-hmm.
that you'll get a lot more out of it. And not just financial, but also humanity and spirituality,
Yeah.
and loyalty, you know. I was at the point where the one person in a household had to work 2 jobs. Now, 2 people
Yeah.
in a household have to work 2 jobs. Plus, the kids have to go out and try to get their own money for their spending. You know, so it's the values of living comfortably because life is a bowl of cherries
Yeah.
is not there, and it's been gone probably since the Depression. Because that's when everything started.
You know, my dad was the one who worked. He worked one job.
It's here in Tijuana.
Here, San Diego. He worked for San Diego Gas and Electric.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to work some overtime.
Right.
And he was a hard worker. You know, and he was the breadwinner of the family. My mom was
Good butter, by the way. You mentioned bread. So
I mentioned bread, and this is good bread.
And good butter.
Trader Joe's, people. I'm telling you, they have some of the best things over there. You know, my mom was at home. She used to be a hairstylist. And she had her own little side business. She had a few clients that would come to the house 2 days a week, maybe like 6 of them every week. She'd do their hair. She had her own little private salon.
Nice.
But then, you know, they all pretty much died off. Until my mom got sick.
Because I'm heading that direction.
Oh my God.
But
No, and you know, and they're like family to, you know. These people were like family to us, you know. Until my mom got sick, and she's the last client she had. The client had to go somewhere else, even though she's still close to the family.
Mm-hmm.
She had to go somewhere else because my mom could not continue to work, but she didn't get paid much to do that. I mean, she had like 6 clients.
Yeah.
That slowly died off. My dad was really the breadwinner.
She just did it to pass her time.
And you know, my dad worked so hard to provide for his family. I mean, that's the type of man that he was. He always thought about his family. His viewpoints might be different, and that's okay. You know what? It is what it is. But his family came first. And he was able to afford to take us out on vacations.
Mm-hmm.
We used to have a van. We drove out all over Mexico
Sweet.
in the van. As a matter of fact, I would never forget the time that we drove to Mazatlan from San Diego. It was a 2-day trip to get to Mazatlan. Because we stopped.
Oh, yeah, you stopped. Okay.
And in the van, we had a cooler. And it was filled with, you know, like sandwich meats and all that kind of stuff. And, you know.
Bologna.
We had turkey and ham. We got the good stuff. And there was beer. I don't think we even had like bottles of water back then. Or we didn't even have sodas in there. It was just beer. And it was so hot, just driving, that all of us were drinking beer while we were on the road.
How old were you?
I was 12. But the thing is, you didn't feel it because it was so hot. You just sweated out. Oh, I remember that time. But you know what? It's the 1980s. It was a different time.
Now I understand a lot about it. Continue.
But, you know, but that was a different time, you know, a different time. It was. So it was acceptable, you know. But, yeah, he was able to afford for us to go out on trips and go camping and go fishing. We even had a boat that my mother hated. You know, my dad was smart enough. In 1989, he bought this apartment complex, 4-unit apartment complex in Norma Heights.
Wow.
You know, he made that investment, and
He's a man of vision.
he was a man of vision. But he says, "Hey, this is extra income.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be great." And you know, and this will be mine and my sister's one day. You know, and that's exactly. Life is just a bowl of cherries, you know, and it's not a selfish way. And you know what? My sister has 2 beautiful nieces, and you know what? This could be theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And go on and go on, you know.
Nieces or daughters?
I have 2 beautiful nieces. What did I say? Did I say that my
sister has 2 nieces.
Oh yeah. No, my sister has 2 daughters that are my nieces.
Ya está borracha.
Not yet.
Less editing from the camera person, please.
That's a great part of it because she is part of it.
You should see her face, like her San Diego Padres hat and a shrimp flying on a fork end.
And her Odessa shirt.
There you go.
Look at that. Tits flying out, you know,
All day.
all day. Oh my goodness.
Yes, so that's kind of responsibility. That's kind of ancient. And did you finish your thought?
Yeah, I did. No, please go on.
It's hard to judge, you know. We are wired to take care of our family, whether it's our blood family or our chosen family, you know, and what do we do for them?
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of people, the society rewards people that, put it this way, we should be able to take care of a whole society.
Yeah.
We're called a civilization for a reason. You know, culture, the arts, humanity, empathy, the strongest ones taking care of the weakest ones. And that's not operating under the individualist capitalism society.
No.
And people don't see that, you know, and I'm all for it for strong. I don't know if I'm a capitalist or not. I don't know if I'm a socialist or not. I think I'm more of a socialist. I'm definitely not a communist. But I think there is a way to have empathy and civility be at the forefront to wealth, material wealth. And you know, that goes back to the bowl of cherries. You know, yes, I'd love a bowl of cherries. You know, but I'm not going to take it away from you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be your friend, and then you can invite me to have the cherries. You know,
And I'm willing to share the cherries. You know.
I've heard.
I get a new cherry every night. It just grows.
I'm sorry, this time.
No, it's okay. I think, you know what? I think we came up with some viewpoints, and I hope that people out there, I would like to hear what your viewpoints is. You know, please, I'm on Twitter at Bryant Hernandez Director. I think I'm Bryant Hernandez Director. Also, I'm on Instagram. If you want to follow me, please follow me on B. Anthony. I also have a page on Facebook, Bryant Hernandez. So please follow me on that as well, because I'm going to post all these videos of YouTube every week on there, all right? So please. And Danielle, I just want to thank you so much for coming, for eating, for speaking of what you believe.
Well, thank you for having me, and talk about popping a cherry. Congratulations on this new series, and may it live long and
Prosper.
Salud.
Salud.
Oy vey.
Hi everybody, thank you again for watching the video. Please comment on your thoughts and what you would like to hear in the future, because every week I would like to try to do something new. A new theme every week and a new visitor every week. Also, my next video is going to be about my experience and with other people there at the Alternative Roots, which is a nonprofit organization. It's an artist retreat, and I'm looking forward to it over in North Carolina. All right? Have a good one. Thank you so much, and please don't forget to subscribe.